Asia. Political divisions, location and physical features. Asia is the largest of all 7 continents and constitutes 1/3 of the land area. With 60% of the world's population, it is the most populous continent. Geographically, it is the land of extremes. Being the most mountainous continent, Asia has the highest point on the earth, Mount Everest, at 8,848 meters, and the lowest point, the Dead Sea, 400 meters below sea level. The Plateau of Tibet, often known as the roof of the world, is the highest and the largest plateau in the world. Lake Baikal is the world's deepest lake with a depth of 1,637 meters. Verkhoyansk in Russia, with a winter temperature of -70 degrees Celsius, is the coldest inhabited place in the world. Cherrapunji in India has the world's highest average rainfall. The average annual rainfall is 26 meters. The rivers Ganga and the Brahmaputra form, in India and Bangladesh, the largest delta in the world. Asia is divided into 49 political countries which range in size from large to small. Countries of Japan, North Korea, South Korea, China and Taiwan make up East Asia, whereas Southeast Asia comprises of the countries of Myanmar, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Indonesia and the Philippines. Indian subcontinent or South Asia includes the countries of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal and Bhutan. Southwest Asia includes Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Israel, Lebanon and Turkey. Russia spans the continents of Europe and Asia. The part in Asia is often referred to as Asiatic Russia. 15 independent republics formed in 1991 when USSR collapsed are Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. Asia lies entirely in the northern hemisphere, except for a few islands of Indonesia, which lie in southern hemisphere. It lies between latitudes 10 degrees south to 80 degrees north. Asia lies entirely in the eastern hemisphere, and only a small part of Russia extends into the western hemisphere. It lies between longitudes 25 degrees east and 170 degrees west. This great longitudinal extent brings about a difference of 11 hours between the local times of the easternmost part and the westernmost part of the continent. Asia is surrounded by the Arctic Ocean in the north, the Pacific Ocean in the east, and the Indian Ocean in the south. In the west, the continent of Asia is separated from Europe by the low Ural Mountains, the Ural River and the Caspian Sea. Further south, Asia is washed by the Black Sea, the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. The small Sinai Peninsula connects Asia with Africa, while in the east, the Bering Strait separates Asia from North America. Asia has a relatively smooth coastline with many wide openings. Along the east coast is the China Sea, the Yellow Sea and the Sea of Japan. In the northeast is the Sea of Okhotsk and the Bering Sea. In the south, there are 2 big bays, the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. The Arabian Sea extends into Asia as the Persian Gulf. There are many island groups in Southeast and East Asia which form island countries like Japan, Philippines, and Indonesia. The island of Taiwan lies off the China coast, while Sri Lanka is at India's southern tip, and Bahrain is an island in the Persian Gulf. The continent of Asia can be divided into 5 physical divisions: the northern lowlands, the central mountain belt, the southern plateaus, the great river valleys, and the island groups. The northern lowlands are made up of the Siberian plain, which is the greatest continuous lowland in the world, and the Turan plain, which is a lowland around the Aral Sea. The Siberian plain is bordered by the Ural Mountains in the west, where it is the widest, and the Yablonoi and the Stanovoi ranges in the northeast, where it becomes narrow. The land is higher in the south and slopes gently northwards towards the Arctic Ocean. The lowlands are drained by 3 long rivers, the Ob, the Yenisei, and the Lena, which make the land marshy and swampy. The Turan plain is drained by 2 rivers, the Amu Darya, 2,090 kilometers, and the Sir Darya, 1,770 kilometers, which flow into the Aral Sea. These 2 rivers make this an area of inland drainage. The central mountain belt comprises of plateaus and fold mountains which radiate out of the Pamir North, located to the south or center of Asia. To the west of Pamir North are the Suleiman Range, extending in southwest direction, and Hindu Kush Range, which runs westwards through North Tajikistan, Pakistan, and Afghanistan to the border of Iran. The Suleiman Range continues further west as Zagros Mountains along the coast of Iran, while Hindu Kush continues westwards along the shores of the Caspian Sea as the Elburz Mountains. Both Zagros as well as the Elburz Mountains converge at the Armenian Knot, where both the mountains continue into Turkey westwards. Zagros Mountains continue as the Taurus Mountains, and Elburz Mountains continue as the Bounty Mountains. There are 2 intermontane plateaus enclosed by the Suleiman and the Hindu Kush ranges, the Plateau of Iran and the Plateau of Anatolia in Turkey. To the east of Pamir Knot lie 4 mountain ranges. The first mountain range is Himalayas, which extends into northern India and Nepal, and it is the highest mountain range in the world. Mount Everest, at 8,848 meters in the Himalayas, is the highest peak in the world. The second mountain range is the Karakoram Range, which lies to the north of the Himalayas. It passes through northern Pakistan and the state of Jammu and Kashmir in India. Mount K2, also known as Mount Godwin Austen, at 8,611 meters, is the second highest peak in the world. The third range is the Altan Mountains that extend northeastwards from the Kunlun Mountains in China, and the fourth range is the Tian Shan, which is the northernmost branch from the Pamir Knot. Further north are the Altai Mountains. There are 2 intermontane plateaus enclosed by these mountain ranges. The Plateau of Tibet is enclosed between the Kunlun in the north and the Himalayas in the south. The highest plateau in the world is known as the Roof of the World. The Plateau of Mongolia, which is the vast desert known as the Gobi or Shamo, is surrounded by the Tian Shan to the west and the Altai to the north. The central mountain belts have a great influence on the climate and life of the people of this region. The melting snow and glaciers of these mountains have given birth to rivers of Asia such as Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Salween, Meeking, Changjiang, that is Yangtze, Wanghe, Amur. The southern plateaus, which are made up of very old, hard, crystalline rocks, lie to the south of the central mountain belt. There are three southern plateaus. The first plateau is the Plateau of Arabia. It has a steep slope along the Red Sea coast in the west and slopes gently north-eastwards. There are no rivers as this region is dry. The second southern plateau is the Plateau of Peninsular India. It rises steeply along the Arabian Sea coast, forming the Western Ghats. It is higher in the west and slopes gradually towards the east. Being a monsoon land, several rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri rise in the Western Ghats and flow eastwards because of the slope of the land. The third southern plateau, which is the Plateau of Shan and Yunnan, lies in the Shan state of Myanmar and the Yunnan state of China. The Salween and the Mekong rivers flow through this region, making this a highly dissected plateau, which means that this plateau is cut by the valley of several rivers. The Great River Valleys are the most important regions of Asia. They are made up of vast stretches of fertile alluvial plains and are the most thickly populated regions of the world. The valley of the Euphrates and the Tigris in Iraq was known as Mesopotamia in ancient times. These rivers flow into the Persian Gulf. The valley of the Indus in India and Pakistan is formed by the river Indus and its 5 tributaries: Ravi, Jhelum, Beas, Satluj and Chenab. The valley covers a large part of Pakistan and Punjab in India. The valley of the Ganga Brahmaputra in India forms an extensive plain stretching almost from the Indus Valley in the west to the Brahmaputra in the east. The Great Plain of China is formed by China's 3 largest rivers, the Wanghe, the Changjiang or the Yangtze, and Sikiang. These west-flowing rivers empty into the Pacific Ocean. The island groups are the unsubmerged parts of fold mountains. Kurile Islands extend from the Kamchatka Peninsula up to the 4 main islands of Japan. Further south are the islands of Taiwan, the Philippines, and Indonesia. The Malay Archipelago is the largest system of island groups in the world between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. It includes New Guinea, the largest island of this group, Celebes, Borneo, Sumatra, Java, Bali, Timor, and numerous smaller islands.